Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, and I'm back to predict UFC Paris full card predictions, starting it off with the first fight of the night, ending it off with the main event. Benoit Saint-Denis, he's back, and he's going to be fighting Moicano. Main event, I'll predict it last. Everybody crack one, pour one, have some fun. If you're fading the Fight Fiend Forecast and you're here for fun, comment below, help with the algorithm, smash the like button, and suplex the subscribe button. I really appreciate that. Let's get straight to it. The first fight of the night, we don't have a fighter from Paris. From France is what I meant to say. Bolaji from Belgium, 9-1 versus Chris Duncan, 11-2 from Scotland. Duncan's been cashing in as a dog. He lost his last fight, submission to Manuel Torres, who at Noche UFC did not look very good, but he was a big first-round finisher, and he clubbed and subbed Chris Duncan. He did get caught, Manuel Torres. Duncan landed a big shot in that first round, but Torres battled tough, got the win in that fight. He wasn't successful at Noche UFC, but Manuel Torres is a very tough fight in round one. Other than that, Chris Duncan beat Yanel Ashmus, unanimous decision. He had takedowns, control time, he mixed it up very well. Split decision to Oumar Morales, 11-3, not a great win. You would have liked to see him get a finish, potentially, but he didn't. He won his other fight here by knockout on the Dana White's Contender Series. Right cross to Charlie Campbell. Put him out. Pretty easy round one. Had to fight through some adversity. He's tough and durable. Other than that club and sub to Manuel Torres. Can Bolaji get a submission in this fight? It's not looking like it. It's looking like he has knockout power. The Zulu Warrior from Belgium, 28 years old, just fought on the Contender Series himself. He fought a 5-1 opponent, Dylan Salvador. He managed to get the knockout. And then he fought his debut fight versus a green prospect who didn't even get a contract on Dana White's Contender Series, Timothy Kawamba. And he just beat him by a split decision. I don't really know how high caliber Bolaji is. Before Dana White's Contender Series, he beat a guy 8-13. But he did beat a 13-0 opponent by a decision. 2 years ago, not the highest level promotion. I don't really trust him to win. He is a -200 favorite. He knocked out a guy debuting 2 years ago as well. He's won his last number of fights. He's looking powerful. But the Zulu Warrior, I don't think he's going to have success in this fight. I don't think he's going to have as much success as everybody else thinks here. 73% on Topology have the favorite. The bookies have him at -200 right now. But Chris Duncan, let me tell you, he has dog in him. He will fight for your money. He's a junkyard dog. He's durable enough in this fight on the feet to keep it competitive. He could prove me wrong, but, he will fight for your money. His nickname is The Problem, and I suspect him to give Bolaji the favorite problems in this fight. He beat Yanel Ashmus, 7-0, who just styled on Trevor Peek. He got finished to Manuel Torres. I think I don't know. Hard to say. This fight could go either way. I'm not looking to invest on it. It's a low confidence pick, and we're moving on to the next fight because I don't have a whole lot of confidence in this. It could go either way. My prediction, Chris Duncan, decision in this fight most likely. I don't see a finish in this fight. He had the split decision to Oumar Morales. He had a nice decision win to Yanel Ashmus. I think he does the same thing as a dog. First fight of the night, +180. I might look to bet it. Probably not, though. You know what I'm saying? Bolaji, he is very powerful. He's 9-1 from Belgium. New fighter in the organization. Still has a lot to learn. A green fighter. Anything can happen. I don't have the best read on this fight. The next fight, I'm taking a dog again. This girl is barking. Nora Cornolle versus Jacqueline Cavalcanti. They have fought before. It was Nora's only loss. Now, Nora just won as an underdog versus Melissa Dixon, 6-0. Knocked her out, looked pretty good. Head kick, knees to the body. I mean, she mixed it up very well. She looked dangerous on the feet. She pushed forward. And that's what people expected Josiane Nunes to do in the split decision win for Cavalcanti a month ago. Nora has had 5 months off, a little bit more recovery time. She's going to be more fresher, and she's plus 160. I'm taking 2 dogs to start off UFC Paris. But in this fight, the 34-year-old, who does not have more experience, she has 1 more fight than Jacqueline Cavalcanti, she will have the judges in her favor. Now, Cavalcanti, split decision win in her last fight. If it's going to be a close fight, it's going to the dog Nora Cornolle from France. Cavalcanti's from Portugal, fighting a girl from France. If it goes the distance, she's going to have some problems. Jocelyn Edwards made that fight a little bit close with Nora. Nora's debut. And it was a unanimous decision win. Judges, all 3, headed for her anyways. So if it's close, we might not even have to worry. Plus 160, women's underdog, systems play, the girls from France. I expect the fight to be close. 7-1, 8-1. Take the plus 160. It's a close fight. Don't get too technical, and don't make this too complicated. I don't think we have to. Bet the fight to go the distance. Bet the over 1.5. If you don't like the plus 160 women's underdog in this fight, even look at either fighter to win a decision at plus money if you are picking or betting this fight. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but sometimes fights that you don't want to bet on are the best fights to bet on. So we have to think about which spots are the best to bet. Now we got another fight, kind of difficult to predict, not the utmost confidence. I'm going to predict it. I might dip my feet in the water. It's a 16-6, fairly new fighter here in the UFC. Daniel Barez from Spain just lost to Jafel Filo by submission. That was his debut fight. Now, he landed a body kick in that fight. Nearly put Jafel Filo down and out. And he could do it again in this fight with Victor Altamirano, who seems to be dipping his head when he's striking. Dips his head a lot, going for unnecessary takedowns, very telegraphed. I think Daniel Barez is going to see them coming, lock in a submission potentially after getting submitted, learning the lesson. Maybe knocking him out, landing a body kick, being the better striker, more aggressive here. Coming off a loss, he's going to fight for your money. Victor Altamirano, he's lost his last 2. His last fight went to a split decision with Felipe Dos Santos. Looked good. He has cardio, but his striking accuracy, his posture, I'm not liking it a whole lot. It's like a coin flip fight. I think the right side is Daniel Barez to get a finish in this fight. Before the split decision loss, Tim Elliott had a decision win to Victor Altamirano. Altamirano lost a split decision to Carlos Hernandez, who beat Daniel Barez as well by split decision. It's going to be a close fight. It could be a decision. It might be. It just might be. That is what Tapology is thinking. I just believe in Daniel Barez with the finishing upside to win this fight. 35 years old. It's now or never. He has a 4-inch reach disadvantage, so he's going to have to close the distance, find that knockout shot, potential club and sub either way. No matter what, he's getting it done. Very late with the predictions. I can't get too technical. I can't make it too complicated. I just got to give you my pick. The picks have been out there early for Patreon members only. $5 a month. You get access to Discord. You link the Discord. You can see the platinum picks, forecast forensic, what my forecasted percentage is on each and every fight versus the odds and the implied probability. That helps me make my bets, figure out who the locks, dogs of the week are, and stuff like that. It has the confidence levels, method of victories, round outcomes. Let's get after it. We got a women's fight here again. And other than Ailin Perez dominating this Darya Zheleznyakova girl, 9-1, I don't really know what to expect. Complete domination for Argentina. Argentinians are looking very good. Ribovics, Vallejos, Perez. This girl, damn, I want to see her twerk again. Please. Goddamn, please. Please, girl. Darya Zheleznyakova looked beat up in her decision win. Beat up. Bleeding. To Monstrat Rendon 6-0. Ailin Perez has more UFC cage time. She's been in there with higher caliber girls. And she might not look that good on the feet and dominate, but on the ground, she'll get takedowns, control time, try to look for a submission. Winning her last 3 fights by a decision, she's going to start searching for a submission, knockout potentially. Now, I believe in where she's training, the Goat Shed. Now, look for the submission. She's with Gillian Robertson. She has a chance to get a submission. She has a ton of takedowns that are going to land in this fight, and she will have the control time to find the submission if it's there. Only loss for Darya was a knockout. Now, that was Ailin Perez's last finish win to an 8-4 opponent, corner stoppage. Darya got beat up in her last fight. She was bleeding. Her striking defense isn't very good. I don't believe in her. The bookies don't believe in her. Tapology doesn't believe in her. We got to lock in. But MMA Factory is where Darya Zheleznyakova is training. Darya Zheleznyakova, whatever the hell her name is, the Iron Lady here, training at MMA Factory. Will that play a factor in the judges' scoring? Will it play a factor in the outcome of this fight? No. Hell no. She will get dominated. We got Vince Morales. Back after his regional scene stint, he is 16-7. He fought in the UFC. His last 2 fights he lost by a decision. Miles Johns, very good loss. He has actually won 5 in a row since leaving the UFC, getting a lot of finish wins as well. So, he's tearing it up on the regional scene. Knocked out his second opponent, 11-5, round 2. He has a lot of submissions here now. 11-4 opponent, 11-3 opponent, Hunter Azure. Round 2, round 3, none in round 1. And then his first fight outside of the UFC, a 13-10 opponent. They're not the highest caliber fighters, but 11-4, 11-3, not bad. He does have that finishing upside on the ground, but Taylor Lapilus, 20-4, is a beast. He's from France. He hits hard. And he looked good on the feet against Cody Stamann. Got it done. He got the job done against Kaylin Loughran by a decision as well. He's a decision dominator. But in round 1, he knocked out Demerte Pena 11-0 at Aries FC for the belt. He was dominant. He has a nice side kick. Nice kicks to set up his combinations. On the feet, he's a cleaner striker. He's going to be smart, composed, have the crowd in his favor, the judges on his side. It's tough to go against him. He lost to Farid Bashrat. He can get taken down, controlled. It could lead to a submission for Vince Morales. Big underdog, going to be fighting like a dog. He's back in the UFC. He wants to get the win. It could definitely happen. I'm not parlaying Taylor Lapilus at the price, at how confident I am in him as a fighter, in his finishing upside. I can't bet him. I can't parlay him. It's just a pick. Him by a decision. If it's plus money for him to win a decision, we could look to parlay that at the odds of minus 350. I don't want to get caught on this fight here. Vince Morales is tough. He will fight for your money if you're taking the underdog. He's going to look for the finish, possible submission, but Lapilus, his only Losses come by decision. It's not easy to finish this guy. It's not easy to submit him. It's not easy to knock him out. He's never been finished. So Vince Morales, probably in for a tough night and probably getting battered on the judges' scorecards. He's not going to be favored in Paris, France. It's just not what's going to happen. It's not the script at UFC Paris. Vince Morales, he's probably getting back in the UFC to get beat up and then get another fight, potential win. But this fight, it ain't it. It just ain't it. Sorry, buddy. And the next fight on the card is Ludovit Klein, 22-4, versus Roosevelt Roberts, 12-4. And I don't know why Roberts got a call back from the Ultimate Fighter in the first place. He lost 10 months ago by armbar to Mateusz Rebecki. And now he's fighting a guy who won his last 3 fights in the UFC. Knocked out AJ Cunningham, beat Thiago Moises, unanimous decision. Beat Ignacio Bahamondes, unanimous decision. Ludovit Klein's the pick. There's nothing to talk about. These guys are the same age, and one guy is way more equipped, way higher caliber, way more experienced. Roosevelt Roberts is getting finished in the first or second round. Ludovit Klein has that front body kick, kicks of any kind, power in the hands, possible submission, club and sub again in this fight. Inside the distance is how I would play this fight for Ludovit Klein. I can't see him taking Roosevelt Roberts to a decision. He took Mason Jones, 11-1, to a decision. He took Ignacio Bahamondes, 14-4, to a decision. He took Thiago Moises, 18-7, to a decision. But those guys are way higher caliber than Roosevelt Roberts. This is a slaughtering in the making here by the matchmakers. Credit to them. I can't believe they got Roosevelt Roberts to sign the contract. Crazy. And the next fight at UFC Paris, that is completely sanctioned by the commission. It's good to go here. Is Ailin Cutelaba. No, it's not. That's next. Oumar versus Woon Jung. Woon Jung just got submitted to Carlos Olberg, right? If you know who that is, Carlos Olberg is a kickboxer. Got a submission. Oumar from France, big prospect, just beat 10-3 Tuco Tacos by a submission, rear naked choke. Round 1, dominant takedown. Big time wrestling advantage in this fight. Had a knockout win prior to the UFC. He had a submission win as well, a decision win. He can do it all. He's looking very good. Level of competition, lower than Woon Jung, but his takedowns, really good. Better than Devin Clark, a guy that just beat Woon Jung. His submission ability, a lot better than a guy that just submitted Woon Jung in round 3. The cardio looks better for Oumar. He's in front of the France fans. He can't let them down. Noche UFC wasn't very good. The Canada cards haven't been very good. We need the France fighters to pull. In Paris, we are going to get paid. The picks are going to be good. And Oumar is my pick. Probably by a submission. But minus 500? Am I going to bet it? Is this where I'm going to get paid? Make a lock? No, I'm not touching it. 10-0, undefeated. Leave it off. Just leave it off. Everything. Sit back, relax, enjoy. Take a stab at the submission. Maybe. The round outcome, no clue. It could go round 2, 3. It could be round 1 in the first 3 minutes. Woon Jung lost his last 3 fights. This has to be it. It's time for him to get cooked in Paris. And Oumar is going to be a big prospect. Training that Bulgarian top team. Big favorite in this fight. Bookies think very highly of him. The UFC matchmakers think very highly of him people that fought Jung, pretty credible in the light heavyweight division. Dustin Jacoby knocked him out. Jung. Alberg just beat him. These are guys in the top 5, top 10 in the light heavyweight. Maybe not top 5, top 10, top 15. So Oumar, he's getting fast-tracked. Sometimes it does not work out because Jung has way more experience. He knocked out Kennedy Nzechukwu 2 years ago. Beat William Knight by a decision. So let's not get too confident in this minus 500 favorite. Heavy favorite. Massive favorite. Way too wide. Disrespecting the South Korean. Disrespect. God damn. Okay, Ailin Cutelaba versus Ivan Erslan. This is a sanctioned fight, everybody. Take advantage. The bookies have it a coin flip. Now, when I'm so confident in a fight that is a coin flip, it's never right. It's incorrect. So maybe this is the end of the road for Ailin Cutelaba, the Hulk, because he is a high confidence pick for me. He has the UFC experience. He is the better fighter. Won 1 fight out of his last 5, but Ivan Erslan, outside of the UFC, won 3 fights out of his last 5. He's been win, loss, win, loss, win. Due for the loss here. I don't know how he got knocked out 11 months ago to a 16-5 opponent, and he lost a decision to a 16-5 opponent less than 2 years ago, and he's making it to the UFC. No contender series needed. It seems like a setup fight for Ailin Cutelaba. If there's going to be a setup fight, this is it. Right here. Ivan Erslan, not very good. Knocked out a 10-1 opponent who fought tomato cans. He's not a very good 10-1 fighter. His win before that was a 17-10 opponent. These are outside of the UFC. These are the regional scene trash cans at KSW. Ailin Cutelaba beat Tanner Boser 20-9. Knocked him out, ground and pound, put him out of there. He's going to finish Erslan in this fight. He's had a lot of round 1 KOs in the past prior to losing to Ryan Spann, Johnny Walker, Kennedy Nzechukwu, Felipe Lins by a decision 5 months ago, 6 months ago. Way higher caliber guys than Ivan Erslan. If there is any fight for Ailin Cutelaba to win, it is this one. He's a slight favorite. Bulky's not really giving him much credit, but Cutelaba, I have confidence in him. And he definitely has confidence in himself. He's another guy that I can trust to fight for my money, and that's why I'm giving him out as a high confidence pick. And the bookies are just out here making me think these fights that are priced very close get me stumbling. We got Fares Ziam from France against Matt Frevola. Just because Fares Ziam is from France, I don't think it plays a factor with the odds. It seems to be. It's another coin flip fight. I'm taking the plus 100 on Frevola. I'm not taking the slight favorite, Fares Ziam. He won his last 3 fights, but he beat Claudio Puelles decision, split decision. Jai Herbert, unanimous decision. Michael Figlak, unanimous decision. These guys don't push forward and punch as hard as Matt Frevola. Terrence McKinney pushed forward, got the win by submission 2 years ago to Fares Ziam. He doesn't like getting pushed forward. He doesn't like when someone else is the aggressor. Now, Saint-Denis just knocked out Matt Frevola with a head kick. But before that, 3 wins for Matt Frevola. He knocked out Drew Dober, Otman Azayatar 13-0, and Jarno Valdez 10-0. He beat a guy 10-0, 13-0, and Drew Dober. Stone cold, tough as nails, Drew Dober. Knocked him out, right hook. He knocked out his last 3 opponents that he beat. Knocked them out cold. He has way more power than Fares Ziam. He has better striking accuracy. He can push forward. He can be the aggressor. 70% are taking the plus 100 underdog. The bookies could be sharp. That is my only worry. Why is this price so close? He's 7 years younger. That plays a factor. He's from France. That plays a huge factor with the odds. I believe in Matt Frevola. High confidence, though. Knockout win. Ziam does not like to get pressured. He doesn't like when someone else is being the aggressor. I already know how this fight's going to end. This guy here is definitely taking the L for the boys. Let's go, Matt Frevola. Stone cold hands. Durable fighter. He's going to have the better striking in this fight. I can swear on that. If it's wrong, it's because the bookies are so goddamn sharp. I don't know how we're getting this at plus 100. They don't believe in Matt Frevola like me, but that's alright. We need to get profit. We need to get paid. And this could be one of the best paying underdogs on the entire event. Underdog of the week, Matt Frevola. At plus 100? You got to be kidding me. You're just giving me a gift in Paris. I fucking love it. Let's go. Next fight, Morgan Charriere. Gabriel Miranda, who has a mustache. A mustache that is greasy, slimy. And I will never pick a guy with a greasy, slimy mustache like that to win a fight again. Ever again. I don't know if I have in the past, but I'm not gonna start to. Not today. Not on the next card either. Morgan Charriere, another France fighter, is going to win. We just seen a France fighter lose for Ziam. Now Morgan Charriere is showing up, putting on a show. Show up or show out, because Gabriel Miranda's game. He lost to Benoit Saint-Denis. Debut. Looked pretty good until he got knocked out and didn't look too good. Just beat Shane Jung. Submission win. Not too bad. Not horrible. Shane Jung is pretty shit though. 13-7. Not very impressive. Chepe Mariscal split decision loss for Morgan Charriere. That was a good loss. Competitive fight with a very high experienced fighter. Very well-rounded fighter. In his last win, he beat Manolo Zucchini. Cut him up. Got him out of there with body kicks. He looked incredible. At Cage Warriors, he was knocking out guys 15-8, 18-4, and he had a split decision win. 7-3 opponent. But his hands are way better than Gabriel Miranda. Benoit Saint-Denis had that right hook and ground and pound knockout win 2 years ago. Miranda has been inactive. One fight in the last year. Morgan Charriere has fought 3 times in the last year. He's going to be ready to go, and he's going to cook the Brazilian in front of the France fans. Easy does it. Big favorite again, minus 550. I'd play this one inside the distance, but I'm looking at the knockout. Morgan Charriere, round 2, round 3 KO. I would lean round 2 though. Benoit Saint-Denis was into round 2, late round 2, before he got that knockout shot. Morgan Charriere has a couple of round 3 knockouts, so I'd look for the round 2, most likely round 3 knockout win for Morgan Charriere. Now that I think about it, Morgan Charriere has a couple round 3 KOs. He has a very good gas tank. His power gets extended late. Miranda starts to gas out once he's not able to find that submission, and he starts to get more inaccurate with the takedowns, and his grappling gets sloppy, just like that stash. Yeah, round 3 KO for Morgan Charriere might be worth a look, might be worth a stab. He's probably going to slice up Gabriel Miranda and his stash, just like Manolo Zucchini. Next up, at UFC Paris, is Kevin Jousset, who betrayed the France fans. He went to Australia, Auckland, New Zealand, not Australia, with City Kickboxing. He didn't want to go to the MMA factory. Alright, he's plus 155 then, to Bryan Battle. Not the Pooh Bear, the Butcher. We're talking about slicing up some opponents, getting the best of the bookies. Bryan Battle, another guy, plus 185. I'm not taking massive favorites. These are slight, moderate favorites that should win, medium to high confidence, because Kevin Jousset won his last number of fights. He's due to regress. You win a bunch of fights, you get matched up with a tough opponent, you're going to start to regress. You're going to start to lose some fights. Just beat Keenan Song, unanimous decision. Had a submission win to Kiefer Crosby before that. But Bryan Battle, his last fight didn't even go 15. It got ended early. Accidental eye poke 6 months ago. He was pretty mad. He was looking pretty good. Now he's going to have to take that energy out on Kevin Jousset. Unfortunate. I really like Kevin Jousset. They could have put someone else with Bryan Battle and put a different opponent with Kevin Jousset. And then we all could have picked Kevin Jousset and Bryan Battle. But the UFC matchmakers must be up to something here. Bryan Battle, it's going to be a good win for him. 10-2 opponent versus a 10-2 opponent. But Kevin Jousset, still a little bit green. He has only fought twice inside of the UFC. Prior to the UFC, on the regional scene, he beat a guy 12-6. Sus. 11-1, split decision. Not bad. And then a 0-1 opponent. 0-1? Come on, bro. Bryan Battle. He was the Ultimate Fighter winner. He knocked out Takashi Sato with that head kick. He only lost to Rinya Fakhretdinov by unanimous decision. Quite competitive. Fakhretdinov was 20-2. This is not a fair fight, and the odds are pretty healthy. It's a fight that I have to lock in. I have to pick a fighter that is a favorite, that is a rightful favorite, that's going to dominate. Perez is going to be a fun night, but for the France fighters, not so much. William Gomis is another fighter, 13-2, who does not impress me. He is fighting Joanderson 17-3, and this is another fight super easy to predict. I gotta go with the favorite, minus 270, moderate favorite. It's not too wide yet, but it's getting there. Money coming in on the favorite, Joanderson Brito. He has a big finishing upside in this fight, undoubtedly. He beat Jonathan Pierce, a much better fighter, 10 months ago. He beat Jack Shore 17-1 4 months ago. He's beaten better guys. This fight does not make sense at all. I cannot see, for the life of me, Joanderson Brito losing. Not for the life of me. Lock of the week, lock of the year. I've never been so confident in a pick. There's not much more to it. The level of competition that these two guys have been fighting in comparison is not even close. A split decision win for William Gomis to Francis Marshall in a fight where he was put in 2 dangerous submissions. You can't be putting those submissions against Joanderson Brito. His first fight with Jarno Aarons, debuting, he won a majority decision. Biased judges, got put in a bad submission attempt. He almost got finished. It's just not a good look. His last win, Yanis Gamori, body kick win in round 3. He wasn't even looking that good in that fight. Yanis Gamori is a complete write-off. He's a bum. He's not even a UFC caliber fighter. Joanderson Brito is taking him back to the woodshed and beating him up. Don't tell anybody about it, because you don't want these odds to get out of control now. You know it's a lock of the week. Be hush-hush about it. Let's get paid in Paris. Become a platinum forecaster for $5 a month. Exclusive early access to the forecasted percentages. The Forecast Forensic will take you to all new heights. New plateaus that you didn't even know you could reach. This tool for platinum forecasters only is incredible. Along with the line movement tracker, if Joanderson Brito has money coming in, you'll get notified. The odds will change on the line movement tracker. I'll update it. I'm letting you know what I'm about to do. I'll be back tomorrow night. I'll give you the lock, the dog, the props of the week, the forecast of the week. All what you got to do, comment on this video, your most confident play at plus money at UFC Paris, the one that you're looking to get paid, the one that is plus money, plus 100 or above, an outcome. method of victory. Ivan Erslan submission. Dawoon Jung KO. Roosevelt Roberts decision. Whatever you're thinking. If it's that crazy, sure. If it's as simple as Ludovit Klein round 1, plus 100, I don't know if that's going to be plus 100, but plus 200, whatever it is. Taylor Lapilus decision, if it's barely plus money, give me your most confident play at plus money. Hashtag forecast of the week in the comments. I'm choosing one forecaster Thursday night. It is Wednesday night. And I got to get this video going. By the time you're listening, it's probably Thursday now. So it's a Wednesday night record. It's a late record. And I got to stop rambling on. We got a couple more fights. And we're cooking up tonight in Perez. Waiting for Saturday. Waiting to see if we're going to get some sugar. I got a little sweet tooth after Noche UFC here. And I'm thinking Nasruddin Imavov is another potential lock of the week in a fight that is clear as day to me versus Brendan Allen. All in Brendan Allen, 24-5, has been dominant lately. But he is due to regress. He's due to lose. He's another guy, just won a decision. It was a close fight to Chris Curtis, split decision. Very close fight. If he decides to have a close fight in fucking Paris, France, with Nasruddin Imavov, the Russian sniper, it's game over. He loses a decision. The judges give it to the boy born in France. Easy as that. Nasruddin, you do see the Russian flag, but the funny thing is, he's not even from France. He's living there, training at MMA Factory. He's somewhat of an imposter, but we'll say he was born and raised in France. They love him in France. He's one of their best prospects, but he was born in Russia. He's a Russian. He has that Dagestani grappling, takedowns, control time in this fight, but he likes to keep it on the feet. He's a sniper on the feet. Brendan Allen, he's the submission artist. He's the grappler. Submitted Rodolfo Vieira, rear naked choke. Submitted Paul Craig. He submitted Bruno Silva. So he's submitting a lot of guys very easily. High caliber guys as well. And Imavov can be put into dangerous positions on the ground. But he has a great takedown defense. He's a good wrestler on the feet. He should be able to pick apart Brendan Allen, have the better accuracy, more volume, and be able to get out of the way of any big shots from Brendan Allen, who's going to be all in, who's won his last number of fights, who's coming in as a plus 200 underdog. The bookies don't believe in him, although he is winning. This is a sign to me that the guy that lost to Sean Strickland is going to win. Hometown advantage. Just beat Jared Cannonier. Late round 4. Has the cardio, has the gas tank, is well equipped to win this fight. He just beat Roman Dolidze 7 months ago, majority decision. Pretty good win. It was competitive. It was 5 rounds. But finally, after fighting 2 fights that went over 3 rounds, he's fighting a 3-rounder now against Brendan Allen. I'm calling it a decision win. Nasruddin Imavov. Over 15 minutes, he'll beat him up. Not take him to the woodshed, but be consistent, be composed, and win this fight with a clean, striking game plan. It should be his path to victory. Keep it standing, have a good takedown defense, and take the beat down to Brendan Allen, land the better shots, make him bleed, get the win. Now, the main event, the people's main event, the most entertaining fight on the entire card at UFC Paris. It's Renato Money Moicano and Benoit Saint-Denis. Saint-Denis just lost to Dustin Poirier. He had the staph infection. He didn't feel the best. He's back. at home in France, main event. He should be ready to go. He should be ready to go to war. The God of War got to be ready to go in this one. Renato Moicano, very good grappler, just knocked out Jalen Turner. So, he has hands now, too. Drew Dober, decision win, kept it close, competitive on the feet, wasn't able to get the finish, still beat him up by a decision. Brad Riddell found the submission win there. His other submission win, Alexander Hernandez, he's not going to be able to submit a guy like Benoit Saint-Denis. His hands, he's been working on them, but I don't know if he can do what he did to Jalen Turner, to Benoit Saint-Denis. I don't want it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm very high confidence in Benoit Saint-Denis this week. So high confidence that he might be my most confident pick on the entire card. I see him getting the finish, round 1 or 2, with the powerful right hooks, head kicks, body kicks, the incredible combinations, pressure, volume of strikes. Money Moicano has more than one punch coming his way. It's going to be a lot to get out of the way of. He won't be able to resist each and every punch. One will land, in my opinion, and that's it. It's game over. Thiago Moises was a victim of Benoit Saint-Denis' power. Matt Frevola was another victim of a head kick finish. Now, Benoit Saint-Denis, he set it up, got it done with the head kick. Beautiful win there. Beautiful head kick. He has a bunch of finishes on the record. He has a very good gas tank, too, if he doesn't have staph infection. So, this fight, he could be more composed in round 1, but round 2, he has to press on it, go for the finish. It is a 5-round fight. That is the only difference. So in round 2, he might not even step on the gas. It's hard to say if he will push on the gas in round 2. He might try to conserve his energy, but either way, he should be able to find a knockout finish at some point in this fight. Fighting a former featherweight who got knocked out at featherweight, Renato Moicano. He's been looking very good. He won 4 out of his last 5. Lost a decision to RDA, but he can get finished. And if there's a fight for him to get finished, looking at the last 5 guys he has fought, it would be Benoit Saint-Denis, the guy I would bet on to finish. Renato Moicano, a guy that I like to bet on, make some money on, but it's very tough for me to have confidence in him with his YouTube channel, with Matty Bets and everything he's doing there, social media wise. I don't know how focused he is on being a champion, climbing the ranks. Benoit Saint-Denis just fought Dustin Poirier. He was so close to potentially getting a title shot. So, I think Benoit Saint-Denis is a potential world beater. If he was 100% healthy, he looked very good in round 1 to Dustin Poirier. He was landing his own shots. He's going to learn a ton from that fight. His striking defense will tighten up, and he'll get this win here. Very high confidence against Renato Money Moicano. Tough pick to make. Another fighter I like to bet on. I like to pick to win. Money Moicano, but sometimes you have to put the bias aside. Stop chasing dogs. Be wise with the picks. And take the beast, Benoit Saint-Denis. Round 2, knockout win, Benoit Saint-Denis. He finds it in round 2. He's not going to have to conserve the gas when Renato Moicano keeps eating shots, walking right into those punches. It's going to be lights out. And Benoit Saint-Denis is going to walk him down. Pressure, power. It won't end well for a guy with very high confidence, Renato Moicano, who said himself he's a lock as an underdog. With Matty Betts, he said he's a lock, so if you believe in the hype, the Money Moicano train, I believe in it, but I gotta be realistic here in Paris, France. If you liked the video, if you like the picks, smash the like button, suplex the subscribe button. If you unsubscribe and now you decided, yeah, hell with it, I'm going to resubscribe, just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, drop your most confident prop at plus money. your most confident method of victory at odds of plus 100 or above. Just put hashtag forecast of the week in the comments below. And I'll pick one forecaster tomorrow night, Thursday night. It's Wednesday right now. Almost 11 o'clock at night. So, I'm going to edit this video. And I'm going to get it out there as soon as possible so everybody can go get paid in Paris, France. It's going to be one hell of a fucking night. And I can't fucking wait. Let's go, Fight Fiends and Forecasters. Thank you for tuning in. Hit the links in the bio below to join Discord for free, Telegram for free, Platinum for $5 a month, exclusive early access to the Platinum Picks, Forecast Forensic, and each and every bet that I'm going to make this weekend.